The NHL playoffs are here. They're here. We did it.
Yes.
82 games up, 82 games down. We're off. It's off to the NHL playoffs.
Okay.
They start tomorrow. I am pumped about it for a variety of reasons because, hey, we usually have like at least one game that's been played by the time we do a pod. This
pumped.
is great. Yeah.
I'm so pumped that I'm willing to go buy a CD player and find Jock Jams, the CD, just to play
so funny
during
you say
the
that.
playoffs.
Why do they not change the CD at the Saddle Dome, especially? Like, I don't go to other venues, obviously. Same music track all the time. It's crazy.
The in between.
Yeah,
I get that there's some songs that are. Yeah, I'm with you. I get that there's some songs that you want to keep as classics, right?
Yeah.
But you know.
Well, let's get into it. Listen, I'm wearing the Flames hat. I take it off, but I put the headset on now. Guys, so close. You did what you had to do. I'll give you the respect. You had to do what you had to do. But doesn't it just go to show you have to finish all your games?
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about that Anaheim one from a couple of weeks ago where you guys were up 3-1. In 2 minutes, Anaheim ties it and you lose in overtime. That one could have been the breaker. That one could have did it for you guys.
I'm going to defend the Flames. Look, yes, in hindsight,
of
course. But what I see the other day, yesterday I saw that they tied the record for a team that has the most points that didn't make the playoffs.
That's right.
So or something like that.
So I did a quick little analysis. We'll get to it in a quick minute. I've told you guys before.
It could be
on
any
the playoff.
game. Sorry, I'll let you run. It could be any game this year. It came down to one game.
It came down
somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, of course, of course. But because we're so, this Anaheim one pops out because it was literally last week, and it was, they were up 3-1 with like 5 minutes left in the game. But anyways, as I did a quick little analysis of because you guys know I hate the playoff format. I'm not a fan of this way of how they currently do it. If you did the top 16 teams, doesn't matter if you're from the East or the West, the Flames are in the playoffs. They're number 14, 15 maybe, but they're in the bottom back. But 90 points easily got you in the East. Easily. All right. With that being said, Lord Stanley, we're going for you. The Florida Panthers are in. What does that mean? They got to defend. It's time for them to actually defend their Lord Stanley. Let's get down to it. Right before that, Kucherov won the scoring race. I'm just saying, I don't know how anyone can vote for McKinnon this year. Just saying, if that was your whole premise on it, I'm not saying he's not amazing. Me and Dimitri have dubbed him the best player in the NHL, but this is why I think the NHL's got to change some things around. This is why, starting with the playoff format. Let's start in the East where we always like to start. The Washington Capitals, number 1 seed. Doesn't matter if it's in the Atlantic or if it was in the Central. The Washington Capitals will take on the team that literally needed the very last day. Their dog ate their homework. The Montreal Canadiens, they got in. Dimitri, right now, how do you feel that the number 1 team, the Washington Capitals, get the Montreal Canadiens in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they might get gut punched, the Capitals, in the first maybe game or two. It'll be weird, but I got Washington on this one. I think Washington's a tough team, man.
I think so too. There's no respect for some top teams here. Yeah. And like we told you a couple weeks ago, when the Winnipeg Jets, the number 1 team, are 9th basically in a ranking when it comes to winning the Stanley Cup by Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
I like Montreal's power, man. I like their young guns. I think they're going to be fun to watch. I'm looking at this one to go to 7, but I'm going to take Washington. I just think they have just a little bit more grind in them.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to wear the Montreal Canadiens out a little bit.
I agree with that.
But I am looking forward to the first game in Montreal. Listen, I'm not a big Habs fan, but that crowd's unreal. You can't fight that one. Can't fight it. Sticking to that division, let's look over at this one. The Carolina Hurricanes, not bad. Pretty good. We always like them, but we're, never enthused by them. Sorry, George. Versus the New Jersey Devils, which I kind of forgot about. I forgot all about Jersey. I think everyone has.
Yeah.
Who you got? Carolina, Jersey.
I really wanted to pick Jersey on this one because everyone forgot about it. Like, you could see it. You could see the Jersey. But I got Carolina still.
Yeah.
I think Carolina is still a solid team. And just because they missed out on Rantanen, we got to remember, like, the way it all landed at the end, it's not like they came out dirty.
Right.
That's a good hockey club there.
No, they got a good one. Brendamore's son played in that final game of the regular season, so you had dad coaching you. I don't think he's going to be on the roster going into the playoffs.
You know, I think what's really going to help, too, is you got some of the guys on the team there that were in the Nations Cup.
Right.
I think that's good experience.
Sure it is. Absolutely.
Yep.
Buddy, I'm with you. I want the Devils hard. I did. In fact, they're one of my favorite teams, but right now, there's just something not clicking with those guys.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'll say, I'm just going to say this. Here's another Game 7 scenario. I'm dead serious. Carolina's goaltending doesn't excite me in any way. It doesn't. And if Jersey gets going, they've shown and can prove they're pretty exciting. They're pretty fun.
They're a crafty team.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. We'll give you Carolina. So that's Carolina and Washington down. We head over to the Atlantic. No, Sarando, we're not going to go there yet. We're going to go to maybe the best series in all of hockey, in my humble opinion. Some will say Avs and Dallas. I put this one at a close number 2. It's Tampa Bay, who took the second seed, home ice advantage, taking on the defending Stanley Cup champions in the Florida Panthers. Dimitri, here's my whole thing. Florida's on a heater. You talk about guys that were in the nation. They got some guys that were in the nation. They got the coaching. They got the experience. You take it on the defending champs, who are kind of like this is a Calgary-Edmonton series for sure, basically, if you want to look at it that way. But now, it's funny. Kachuk might be back for the playoffs. Interesting. Enough. Yeah. Marchand's there. Bennett. We haven't seen that line combination yet. We're all excited. The Barkovs. Ekblad will be back from his steroid use. He's going to be jacked to the tits. Like, who knows? I don't know what. Both goalies are Russian. Like, this is as replica as you're going to get. You know what I mean? I don't know who to take here. I do have a team, and I'll tell you why. I'll start on this one. Give me my Tampa Bay Lightning, baby. Give me my Tampa Bay. Why? Listen, there's a team at the beginning of the year that the coach, the GM said, hey, Stamkos, get out of here. We don't need you. What? I dare you. How dare you? I'm Steve Stamkos. They're tough. This team is tough. Yeah. What I'm saying is they don't care. They made a mistake where they got rid of Gord and some other grinders, which you guys all know how much I love the grinders, okay? And they turned around and said, hey, we made a mistake. We're going to go back and get them. And they brought them back from Seattle. When they make a mistake, they know how to fix it. Give me Tampa Bay and throw in the cooch for fun.
Wow. I can't argue that, but I'm gonna. But I really can't, but I'm still gonna.
All right.
And one thing to note, if you're going to juice yourself, don't go halfway.
Don't go halfway.
Juice yourself to the
right
titties.
To the titties. That's right.
Jeez, Mitch.
What? Is that bad? What's wrong? I don't get it. What?
Ah, boy. Okay, listen. It's got Game 7 written all over it.
Another Game 7.
This is going to be tough.
3 Game 7s.
I do got the Flow Riders, okay? I do, because I think that what you said about Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay is like inflation, as Mitch said. It's a silent killer.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
It'll get you.
I don't think it's an upset if Tampa Bay wins.
No,
but I am picking. Look, Florida, defending Stanley Cup champions. The retooling that they did and the gamesmanship, now that all the big teams have really caught up on, when it comes to injuries and bringing people back, it's just that's a lot of firepower on one team. It really is, Mitch. And then when you start getting the Reinhardts and Verhaeghe, like when you get down the depth chart, I mean, it's scary.
It is. And the only thing here, I'm going to throw the one asterisk that I never know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. The pressure. You're the defending Stanley Cup champion. Is that drive? Is that bite? Are you still hungry the way you were last year? I'm going to say it's hard to be like that all the way through.
I agree, but this group is different. When you got the Kachucks, when you got, buddy, the Marchand alone, that right there is that's going to invigorate anyone on that team.
Either which way, I'm with you on this one. I actually just see this as a heavyweight tilt. Game 7 again. That's 3 in a row.
I'll put it to you this way. This is the series I'm watching in the East.
100%.
This is the series I don't want to miss a game.
Well, there is one more. And this one is a doozy too, because you got your Toronto Maple Leafs, number 1 in the Atlantic. They held on, and they did a great job of doing so against a team that's kind of like them in a weird way. I mean, not just because they're from Canada, they're Canada's capital. Some would argue Toronto is. Ottawa will say, too bad. It's on the map. It says us. Ottawa versus Toronto. Toronto, obviously, with home ice advantage here. I'll let you take this one.
Listen, here's how I see it playing out. it's going to be the same old song and dance. I actually think Toronto is going to crush Ottawa.
Yeah.
Okay, I do. And then we're going to get the same thing. They're going to have a great opening round. They got the right matchup. They did it in beautiful style. The media is going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get, they just have to get to a place where they're tested. But there's no Boston this year. There's no Boston. And you know that everyone likes that. Just having them not around is just good enough. But look, I like Toronto. I think it's a different team. I think they're playing different. I think any moment you start looking and you say, you know, the Matthews is not a, hey, everyone, let's watch him to be a 60-goal scorer. You're not hearing as much about the big guys anymore.
Right.
The defense, I think, has gotten better in Toronto. I like the way they're playing. This is the first time in my life, not in my life, but this is the first time in a while that I've seen the Toronto Maple Leafs place and seed in an area of significance, and no one's really giving them enough press because they're actually talking about other people. This is a good spot for them. I like Toronto.
I got to admit, as much as I want to argue against you and I want to go against Sarando and everybody else that loves their Toronto Maple Leafs, it's true. This is a different Toronto team. It's your year. This has to be your year.
This has to be.
1967 has never looked so close to what this could be. I am also going to take the Maple Leafs here for all the right reasons. The only thing I have with them is that your goalie has to, not for this series, going forward, and we'll talk about the rest of the series, but Stolarz, if that's who you guys are going to roll with, that dude's got to steal some games, and he's got to be that guy that people need him to be. The whole team is good. It's good. Treliving's done a great job. You know, Brad Treliving needs a little more respect on his name as maybe one of the best GMs, if not the best in the game, because this guy keeps taking scenarios and cleaning them up a little bit and making them a little bit better. Because when you look at this team, you know, the big names have been there, but it's the little pieces that I keep telling you guys about that I think are the big deal.
Yeah.
The fact that Austin Matthews, who last year had like 70 goals and this year's got, 34, literally half goals, right? Not the big a deal, but you're never going to leave him alone. Mitch Marner on fire. That's really what it is all about. That Mitch Marner is the hottest thing in Toronto. And I hope the Chicago Blackhawks understand how big a deal this is. You guys got to go get him. And when he puts on a show, Toronto, get your checks out. To Chicago, get your checks out. Because I'm telling you, this is the Mitch Marner sweepstakes. Mark it here right now.
We got to do something. W was saved by the bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast. Amy can do anything.
She's the best.